Well, Jenifer Austin, Deputy Director for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, joins us also from Gaza. Thank you so much for being on Al Jazeera. I imagine that you are absolutely run off your feet at this point in time. We know that there are shortages of food, water, power, fuel, medical supplies. Almost everything is running out very, very quickly. Can you just give us a bit of an update of how dire the situation is there right now?
Thank you and good evening. Yes, it is exhausting, but it's more exhausting for the staff of the UNRWA who are working tirelessly to provide services to the refugees. And I think I heard earlier in your earlier speaker talking about our schools, our shelters, that we've got 270,000 IDPs are in our shelters. And yeah, we are really stretched. Our emergency response plans cater for 150,000. Clearly, like after a few days, and we're now into day 6, we've almost exhausted all our supplies. It's extremely, extremely difficult.
Yeah, we've just heard that fuel at Al Shifa Hospital is going to run out in 3 days, which could potentially mean that 1,700 patients that are at that hospital could die. I mean, that's the kind of situation that people are dealing with, are living with there. Is there a plan for when these supplies do eventually run out completely?
Well, that's not part of the UN plan, because that sits outside of the UNRWA. But I'm not sure this is part of the WHO's plan, I guess. But what we're doing is we're trying to mobilise fuel resources that we can get available. You know, we need to have fuel. Fuel into Gaza is the most critical, because fuel is running the desalination plants, so we can get clean drinking water. Fuel is running the generators for the hospitals. You know, without fuel, you know, Gaza is in really big trouble.
Yeah, we know many people and organisations are calling for a safe passage to allow civilians to get out of Gaza, but also allow aid and supplies in. And I know that you're clearly one of them. Who are you talking to about trying to get a safe passage open?
Well, our Commissioner General has been working tirelessly at the highest levels, you know, up to the Secretary General. I'm sure that everyone is doing all the advocacy needed, working with Egypt, trying to get safe passage through Egypt. Egypt and Rafah seems to be the only available option at the moment.
How, you personally and your teams there, how long will you be able to operate? Because obviously you're suffering like everyone else in Gaza at this point in time.
Yeah, look, thank you. Yeah, we really are suffering. We've got in our shelters, we've got 270,000 IDPs, as I said. Now we've got, you know, water for out of I think it's over 100 shelters we've got now, and we've got clean water for 50 of those. And we can, you know, move water around and things like that. We will last for 10 days, or anything from 4 days to 10 days, we will run out of water. So it depends. And if there's in a ground incursion or anything like that, then we can't run our operations, because we can't put our staff at risk. And therefore, you know, we can't refuel the generators that run the desalination plants that we have within our shelters. And if we can't refuel the generators, then we can't get the clean water. So we need to be able to get access to our shelters. We need even safe passage to get to our shelters so we can refuel them, so we can get clean water for people. Yeah. If we can't, you know, get the fuel into the shelters, then we're in trouble as well.
Incredible work.
So it's anywhere from 4 days to 10 days. It's a really tight timeline, and it's changing every day. Yeah. And every day we get more people coming in, and, you know, it's a moving feast, and it's really difficult to get the data because roads are closed, telephone lines are down, and now that the power's been cut off, people's telephones will have run out and charging and things like that. So it's really hard for us to know on the ground to get a feel for it. But all we know is that it's just so bad and so critical, and it's very, very difficult. But we've got over 5,000 of our staff are working across the whole of the Gaza Strip to look after the people who are in our shelters.
Incredible work that you and your team are doing in the most dire of circumstances. We really do appreciate you taking time to talk to us and explain what you and your team are going through there in Gaza. That is Jenifer Austin, Deputy Director for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. Thank you so much.